what we're going to discuss now is just the internet profile. I want everybody to understand what the internet prospect looks like, statistically wise. Okay, first and foremost, it's imperative that you all understand that almost every single person that walks through this dealership is an internet customer to some degree. What I mean by that is, as per J.D. Power and Cobalt and all the other powers that be that study this stuff, 88% of Americans, before they step foot into the dealership, go online to do some form of research. 88 is non-Highline. 98% is Highline. That means like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Infiniti, Lexus, Audi, etc. So the number is between 88 and 98% of Americans, before they ever step foot into the dealership, they go online to do some form of research. Does that make sense? Okay. So now, here's something that's really interesting, is that they spend approximately 6 hours online doing some form of research. Now, buddy, how long does it take to approximately get an invoice from like Cars Direct or Edmunds.com or something like that?
As far as...
Like how long does it take you? 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. So it takes roughly around 30 seconds to a minute to get an invoice to get to what the dealership supposedly paid for the vehicle. So what the heck are people looking for 6 hours? What type of information? Let's ask everybody. What do you think your customers or prospects are spending 6 hours doing online? What do you think?
The features and the options of the vehicle.
Features and options. Okay. What else?
Pricing.
Pricing. What do you think?
I would say the closest location.
Okay. Proximity, location, where they can buy a vehicle from. What else?
The best deal.
The best deal. She said pricing. But go ahead.
Colors.
Colors. They said specs, options. What else?
Well, I'd say they compare companies and they also look at the high quality, lowest price ratio they can find.
Okay, pricing. This is all correct, but I got more. They're looking at their trade. Okay, what is the trade worth? Where they, how can they trade their vehicle? They're looking for the credit. They're looking for, what do they qualify for, right? Like you said, I like the comparisons. They're looking at not just, let's digress. This is actually what J.D. Power says that Americans are looking for. There's three main, I want you to write this down. There's three main buying profiles or sections of the shopping experience. The first section starts roughly 90 days ago. So the first stage is the OEM search, which is basically original equipment manufacturer, the manufacturer. In this case, you are a Chevy dealership or GM dealership, correct? So statistically, J.D. Power says when somebody's in the market for, let's say, a Chevy Malibu, they're going to go to Chevy.com or a General Motors website, and they're going to go to the OEM site because they perceive they're going to get the most amount of accurate information, the most up-to-date information from the manufacturer's sites. Does that make sense? So now, if somebody's looking at a Chevy, they also might be looking at the Ford Taurus, correct? They might be looking at a Honda Accord. So even though it's a different manufacturer, that's usually the first place people go. And stage one is 90 days out. They're going to look at the OEMs. Ford, Chevy, Honda, whatever. Stage two, when they are in the 45 to 55 day window period, they're going to start comparing vehicles off of Edmunds.com, Kelley Blue Book, Black Book, Galv's in New Jersey. They're going to look at Cars Direct, Auto Vitel, AutoWeb, Dealix, Cars.com, AutoTrader. Because like you said, in phase one, they're looking at the manufacturer. So let's say I'm a Chevy prospect like this store, right? If I'm looking at a Chevy Malibu, I might be looking at the Ford Taurus. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
If I'm looking at the Ford Taurus, how do I know? Here's my analogy right to you, brother. Okay, if I said to you, who's better, the Marine Corps or the Army, what are you going to say?
Marine Corps.
Okay, if you ask me who's better, Anthony?
Army, baby.
Oh, there you go. Now that's because I was in the Army, in the reserves, you know what I mean? And you were in the Marine Corps, so you're going to believe that the Marines are better for you. Same thing here. Think about this, ladies. If you are looking for a Chevy and a Ford, and you really want to know what's better, you can't go to the Chevy dealership and say, what's better, you or Ford? What do you think the Chevy dealership is going to say? Chevy. You can't go to the Ford and say, what's better? What's the Ford going to say? Ford. So the second stage is the comparisons, and the way you're going to find that out is by going to third-party provider sites like Edmunds, Kelley Blue Book, etc. Now, when people are 30 days or less from buying a vehicle, 30 days or less, they're going to be geo-targeting. They're going to be going to Google and typing in Chevy dealer, Chevy San Antonio, Chevy Malibu San Antonio, Chevy, dealership, what's better, Chevy, Ford in Texas. They're going to be geo-targeting their search. They're going to be narrowing down their search to try to identify the best place to buy the vehicle, who's got the vehicle, so for availability and the best deal, the best price. Time check.
5 minutes.
Okay, good. Stop me at 9 minutes. Don't stop yet. Okay, so now, that's pretty deep, right? 3 main phases. Phase 1, OEM. Phase 2, third-party comparisons. And phase 3, when they're closest to the buying cycle, they're going to start looking at geo-targeting into Google or going directly to your website looking for price and availability. But there's more. What else are people looking at? People are looking at reviews, online reputation management. Look at the screen. I'm going to go to Google in a second. Online reputation management is so important, right? So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go towards Google. Let's just type in so look at this right here. When you go in, see this? This is important. These people got 116 reviews. And then look, they are 1, 2, 3, 4.5 stars. You've only got 42 reviews. These got 68 reviews. Think about this, folks. This is the Google Places is a huge part of people's decision-making process. Reviews. Do you know something? I'm gonna take a step back. Everybody saw a site like this before. Let's go to this site. Everybody know Hotels.com? Everybody heard of Hotels.com?
Yeah.
Now, what is the point of going to Hotels.com? So we could figure out what is the best place to get a hotel. The cheapest place, the most convenient, and it's rated by stars. You know what I mean? You can turn around and see, what's the best place. Now, again, you might be all bougie or foo-foo and say, I'm not going to go there. They only got 3 stars. There's no chocolate on my pillow. I ain't going there. Right or wrong?
Right.
So you bougie?
Yes.
A little bit? All right. That's not... So the idea is exactly now, you guys understand, the average stay in a hotel is like 3 days. The average price is like $110. There's millions of people that go to this website for a stay that's only 3 days and only $110 a day. What do you think people are going to do for the second largest purchase ever in their lifetime? The automobile is the second largest purchase the average American is going to do in their lifetime. Now, with the economy the way it is, the reputation of the car industry itself, all these mitigating factors, all these variables. Does that make sense, ladies? All right?
Yes.
Okay, when you go there, you're going to look at reviews. You're not going to just look for price. You're not going to just look for availability. You're going to look to make sure that you're not going to get your head cracked or swiped off and get scalped by this dealer. You want to make sure that they didn't do anything shady or what have you. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Time check.
8 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to also tell you something else. You've got to be very careful. I've had clients that have gotten bitten, by their salespeople shenanigans by accident. I mean, think about this. This is kind of scary. But if you have your own profile for MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, right? It gets indexed. And if you are listing, even if you don't list Varus Chevrolet on there, you would understand this is scary because somebody could turn around and go into Google and type in, John Smith, your salesperson on the floor, and John Smith's, page pops up. Nothing to do with Vara, right? And they could turn around and have swinging from poles, smoking all kinds of crazy things, what have you. I'm not being funny. I'm serious. I've had clients that got bit and that lost opportunities not because of their online reputation, because their salespeople representing them. So you need to be cognizant as the GM, GSM of the store that there should be a social media policy for every employee from sales, service. If they're going to be online, they need to basically have either PG or even G profiles or mark them on private because they could come up. So now I'm going to cut this tape right here.